Hi, this is Mick Burgess, and I'm now backstage at Trillions in Newcastle with Ronnie Romero, one time of Rainbow, MSG, Ferrymen, Elegant Weapons, Vandenberg, and loads of Black. Have I missed anybody out?
Yeah, some others, yeah.
There's been a fair few.
Yeah.
So you're currently on tour in the UK. You're over for 8 shows. How have the shows been going so far?
Fantastic, yeah. Because it was a long time since I didn't play any show in UK. Last time it was like 3 years ago with Michael. Different venues, and the thing was, I was not touring under my name, so for me it was very important to start this leg of our tour because it's my name on the tickets, and I was just wondering if the people are gonna respond on the call. So I'm very happy because so far the shows are going great, great venues, great audiences, and we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Is it a bit scary now that the spotlight's on you and the book stops with you? You haven't.
No, I wouldn't say it's scared. For me, it's exciting. Because after many years playing with different musicians, with Rainbow, with Michael, and I wanted to step forward and try to figure it out if my names can call the people to come to the shows, and I'm very happy with that.
It was a nicely balanced set list tonight, I'd say. Plenty of songs from your solo album and a few from your previous bands, and a couple of your probably your personal favorite songs as well.
Absolutely, yeah. The thing is, obviously, to play the songs from my solo record, the record we released a couple of years ago. But obviously, I know that people expect me to play some classics, especially from Rainbow, because this connection. So we try to balance the set list so everybody's happy. I can present my song, but also we can have fun playing the classics.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been tricky finding somebody to play the music of Michael Schenker, Ritchie Blackmore. So how big a challenge was it for you to find that guitarist?
It is fun, It's at the end. It's the ultimate. Is the ultimate reason why I play music. It's just to have fun, and it's music that I grew up with listening. So obviously, important part of the set is playing my songs from my solo record, but also I love and I have a lot of fun playing the songs from especially from Rainbow and Deep Purple. It's a kind of a tribute to the time I spent with Ritchie and my love for the band.
Yeah. So your latest solo album, Too Many Lies, Too Many Masters, came out a couple of years ago. Yeah. So after so many years as being the singer in somebody else's band, this is your album. It must have been a very proud moment for you, holding that record with your name on it. I know you've done the 2 cover albums before, but this is the first album of your material, your name.
It is actually was a very important thing to do for me in terms of, as I said before, I really wanted to realize if my name in the music industry can mean something to somebody, because obviously I was in the comfort zone in terms of playing with big names and the shows we did and all the music we did. It was not under my name, so it's a kind of a little bit tricky in terms of, I was having fake success because, everybody, I played the O2 in London, I played the Birmingham Arena and all this stuff, but it was because everybody was going to see Ritchie Blackmore, not Ronnie Romero. It was very important for me to figure it out if I can do something by myself. So I'm very happy with the decision I make. And so far so good, I think.
But then again, you can always say that they were only going to see Ritchie Blackmore in the O2 Arena because he'd seen you as the singer, and you were the singer that brought him back to the playing rock music.
Yeah, I mean, I feel very proud of what I did with Ritchie and Michael and others. But as I said before, for me also it was to step out a little bit from the comfort zone, because it's not the same thing to play big venues with a lot of people, and everybody was going to see another musician, and then come to the clubs, and I would say come back a little bit from to the roots. how it started. And for me, it's so far it's going like a very happy time because at least some people is coming and we're having fun playing the songs.
Yeah. So who was your songwriting partner on the album?
That's the thing that I feel very proud of, actually, because it was the first time that I'm taking completely care of what we're gonna release. We were doing the songwriting, I was doing all the lyrics, I was doing all the vocal lines, and also being part of the production process on the mixing and the mastering. Because I wanted to present a product that it is 100% Ronnie Romero. It's not only the guy who is a hired gun just to go to the studio and record the songs in the way somebody else wanted you to sing it and then send in tracks and you forget about it,
Yeah. So you produce it as well with Andy C, who's your bandmate from Lloyds of Black as well.
Yeah.
So how did you feel when you've held that album in your hand the first time? This is your album. What did you think?
It is a fantastic feeling, I would say. I don't regret on anything I did before. It's totally the opposite. I feel very grateful to have the chance to play especially with Ritchie, because actually, as I say in the show, he was the guy who gave me the chance to do something in the music business. But it's also, it is a great feeling to present something that is 100% me. So it was fantastic.
I mean, the album came out 2 years ago. Have you started working on the follow-up?
Well, actually, probably we're gonna finish with the new album to deliver to the record label after this tour.
All right.
We need to go back to the studio to putting some last touches and the final mix and all this stuff. But it's pretty much done. Yeah.
Great. So that'll be another tour after that as well. Come back.
Hopefully, yes. I don't think it's gonna happen this year, but because I think the album is gonna be released by fall, I would say.
Yeah.
Because we have the live album to be released before.
All right.
But yeah, from.
So where was that recorded?
Yeah, that's a show we recorded in Spain in a festival, and it's gonna be released at the end of this month.
Is that on Frontiers?
Yeah. And then we're gonna probably by the end of the year we're gonna release a new album, which is I think another thing that I feel very proud. Not only because I think we improved on the songwriting, but also because I have a couple of good friends of mine, very well-known musicians, helping a little bit with a couple of songs like Russ Ballard. We did a song together.
Yeah.
Which is great because it's this rainbow connection, with the I Surrender and all this stuff. We did a great song together. And also Roy C, the producer from Bruce Dickinson is... we did a song together also. So, I think it's going to be great. And it led me to be focused 100% on my solo band at some point. Yeah.
Because you've done the two covers albums, Raised on Radio and Raised on Heavy Radio. Was that your opportunity to sort of record those songs that you grew up listening to and that influenced you along the way?
I took it like that. The record label, they were asking me since many years to do something with my name, like a solo album, and I didn't want to do it at that time. I was focused on playing with Ritchie and playing with Michael. I did an album with Vandenberg at that time, and we were doing albums with Lords of Black, and I didn't find the right time to do a solo record. I thought it would be too much. So just to figure it out, if there is some interest in my name, we started to do this first covers album, which I took very seriously in terms of choosing the songs that I want to have on the record, and.
So did you have a free hand in what songs you did, or did the label
absolutely,
some,
because I say, okay, if I'm gonna do a covers album, I don't want to play the songs that everybody is expecting me to sing. I know everybody was expecting Rainbow and all this stuff. I wanted to do something different and really to pay tribute to the music that I grew up listening to. That's why you can, especially in the first one, you can listen songs from Kansas and Fortigner and all that those bands I grew up listening to with my father, rest in peace. and yeah. And it was a lot of interest, actually. It was a pretty successful album in terms of sales for the record label. So they were very happy with it. And so we needed to do a second one. In the meantime, I was doing the last tours with Michael Schenker. And then I realized, after doing the last tour with Michael, I realized that I wanted to do something by myself.
Yeah. So what about Elegant Weapons and the Ferrymen, both bands that you sort of intrinsically involved with? Where do they fit into your sort of musical plan now? Are they on the back burner at the moment, or?
Well, with the Ferrymen, we just released a new album a couple of months ago. So, yeah, but that's something that it doesn't take too much for me to be involved, because it's just an album that I go to the studio, I record the songs, and there's not too much involvement on it. With Elegant Weapons, it's different. We just finished with the vocal production for the new album. We took it more seriously this time, so I was working with Andy Snap and with Ritchie himself in the studio, to work on the lyrics and the vocal lines, and we've been recording, and I think it's going to be a great album. I don't know when exactly it's going to be released. I think there is no rush for it, because Ritchie and Andy, they are still touring with Judas Priest and all the stuff. But probably at some point of the next year, it's gonna be a new album of Elegant Weapons, and
some live shows maybe.
Yeah, probably yes, absolutely. Yeah.
He's a great guitarist, Ritchie, isn't he? Absolutely superb, Ritchie Faulkner. And Lords of Black, have you got time to fit them in as well? Are you still? Well,
that's a different story. I think this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna say it. But I stepped out from the band a couple of months ago. There were some issues, and the band, I think it's the first time that happens in Frontiers, but the band, it was fired from the record label. So I just decided to, because of this path I'm taking with my solo album, I decided to drop some things that they're not bringing too much to my career. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but for sure, if there is a new album, anything coming from the band, it's not gonna be with me as a singer.
Yeah, you've got a lot on your plate. To be fair, you've got a lot of things on.
I'm very happy doing my solo stuff. And sometimes, doing the Elegant Weapons, and that will be it.
Yeah. Just to sort of go back a little bit, just to round off. I mean, you were born in Chile, and rock music's hugely popular in South America, and the fans are so enthusiastic. I've seen the Russian Rio DVD where they sing along to an instrumental. I've seen a recording of Anthrax in Chile where they do the swirling mosh pit. It's incredible to see. What is it about the South American audiences that loves this rock music so much, and why are they so enthusiastic?
Well, I think it's very related with the in terms of especially in the 90s, when I was a teenager. There were not too much opportunities to see the bands live, because they were not touring very often like they do right now. So it was a very huge event if a big band was coming to the countries. For example, I remember in the 90s, the beginning of the 2000s, I was a huge fan of Dream Theater. And I remember the first time they played there, 2003, if I remember correct. They were even on the newspapers, and the Dream Theater is coming to South America. It's going to be the first show in Chile. It was 25,000 people. It was an audience that they never had before. And I think that's why the South American audience is so passionate about it, because we love rock and heavy metal, but we don't have too many chances to see the bands actually.
So you got to make the most of it when they come.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just last couple of questions about Rainbow. How did you come to the attention of Ritchie in the first place? I mean, that's a massive break to.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
So how did he find you?
And I don't know how, but it is a common thing that happens to many singers, like it happens to Jolene Turner also, and many others. I was unemployed at that time, and I was doing a rainbow cover band in Spain.
All right.
So we did a couple of shows, and there were some videos on YouTube. At the same time, they were looking for a singer. So Candice, she went to YouTube, and she put like a rainbow cover band or something like that, and one of my videos show up. And they immediately called me, and that was it.
And singing the music of Ronnie James Dio, Gillan, David Coverdale, Glenn Hughes, Graham Bonnet, Jolene Turner. You've got to cover a lot of ground vocally. Very different singers. How did you prepare mentally to sing the songs of those people?
No, not much. I mean, for me, it's just. I feel grateful that I have the chance to do and to play those songs and to sing those songs. I was more than to be mentally prepared to play the songs and all this stuff. It's more like you need to understand what the people want from you, which is actually the tricky thing. Because there is a really fine line and there is a little gap where you can move, because the people, they come to the shows, especially with Rainbow, that happens. They were coming to the shows and they want to listen the songs as closest as the original, but at the same time they don't want to listen to just the guy copying or trying to copy the original singer. So there is a fine line in between that you can move and try to do your own version of the songs. Especially because I really respect all the singers that I was covering it. But it was just about, for a young guy who grew up in South America without any chance to not even imagine to have a career in Europe playing music, and then one day you're playing with Ritchie Blackmore himself in the same stage. It was just to go out and have fun.
Did you have any influence over the songs you sang, or did Ritchie say, "I want you to do these"? Did you have any?
No. It gave me a lot of freedom to do my own versions of the songs, but at the same time, you need to know where you can move. Because at the end, it's Ritchie Blackmore. It's not any other musicians. With all respect, it's one of the pillars of the rock music.
Absolutely.
And it was very clever in the way that he's a very clever person. So he was giving me some advices and tips without actually telling me the things. For example, he was telling me, I don't like singers that they move too much on the stage and they climb to the places and they running. I like a singer who is just fronting the band. And so I understood that that's what actually wanted from me. So, but besides that, it was just letting me to sing the songs in my own way.
Do you think you would have liked to have had that chance to write some music with him and maybe record? Would have been a nice opportunity, but it didn't happen.
It happens when we did the "Waiting for a Sign" single. The song, it was written by Candice and the lyrics and the vocal lines, but they gave me enough space to do my own interpretations in the studio. I don't think that's going to happen again because it's in a different path right now. It's playing with Blackmore's Night. I don't think that any other Rainbow show is going to happen. Obviously, because of his health and his age, I don't see him moving out of his comfort zone. I was thinking of my new album to ask them to write something together, but then I realized that maybe it's not. I don't want to take advantage of knowing Ritchie Blackmore to do that, right?
Well, you can, but ask. You can just say no.
I don't know. Maybe the next one. I don't know. But maybe I will at some point. We have a good relation. We keep talking and knowing each other. How is it going? They are always asking me how is it going with my career. So. And
you did it.
Yeah.
You can look back on that and think, when you're in your rocking chair and when you're an old guy, think, I did that.
Yeah,
I did achievement.
It. Yeah.
So just looking forward, just on the last question. So you've got the new album due out. So what have you got on for the rest of 2025? More touring, more recording?
Yeah, the summer is going to be very quiet because, as I say, we're finishing with the new album, and I wanted to really pay attention to the product that we're gonna deliver to the record label. I wanted to take some rest from touring.
Yes.
To be honest, I wanted to spend my time with my family, especially with my wife, and then in the fall we have a tour together with Gus G, which is it's going to be something very interesting. We got this idea to do something together. Probably we're gonna write a couple of songs together to be released as singles, and then to do a tour playing Rainbow. Aussie songs, some classics from Thin Lizzy, and then songs from his solo album, songs from my solo album. Apparently, the people is very interested in this combo, of Gus G and Ronnie Romero. So, and then we will see what happens from there. But so far, just finishing this tour with my band, focusing on the new album, focusing on the Elegant Weapons, and that's it by the moment, so the people are not going to talk about that I'm playing in too many bands.
Yeah. Busy times.
Yeah.
Ronnie, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.